Hey everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to the Mayday Network. I'm Michelle Kinney. I'm here with my friend Julie Roginski. And we just wanted to come. I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny. Julie and I were recording something, and upon our exit, took a look at Twitter and saw that a man collapsed in the Oval Office, not Donald Trump. And the first thing that I saw before I knew anything about it was there was a photograph of the man having a medical emergency and Donald Trump pretty much standing over him, not giving a shit. So I just want to set this up. This is from the Huffington Post. Watch, man collapses during Oval Office address as press is rushed out of the room. Video of the event shows Dr. Mehmet Oz coming to the aid of the man. I mean, honestly, as much of a kook as he is, like,
he is a good doctor.
He's an actual, like, legitimate doctor. I remember some young woman on 6th Avenue getting hit by a taxi cab or something, and he rushed over to, like, save her life. And, you know, I actually will never forget that because I was working nearby. So it says a man appeared to pass out during the announcement at a White House about lowering the cost of weight loss drugs. The attendee was standing behind President Donald Trump in the Oval Office, and he collapses. There's video of the event. And here is the photograph. I just cannot believe it. So Julie, the first thing I want to show here is this video of before this happens. Now they're talking about GLP-1s, tirzepatide, right? Which are wonderful, amazing drugs that should be widely available to people for a myriad of different ailments. They're life-saving, right? So this actually is a good thing, I hope. You know, I don't know if there's like a catch, but so Dr. Oz first makes a connection between obesity and dementia as Donald Trump is sitting at the Oval Office just a few feet away.
People can sleep again because they can breathe as when they go to bed. Folks whose knees don't hurt. People who don't have heart attacks, renal failure, dementia, all the things we know are associated with obesity and much more.
And I just want to go back because I just want you to take a look.
Is he asleep?
I don't know. I mean, obviously I didn't see it live.
He passed out? What is going on?
I don't really know what's going on.
Does he not want to consider that if obesity and dementia are linked, and you know, I guess they might be. He's got.
I don't know. I think what I don't know can't hurt me, so I'm just not going to know anything.
Okay.
Okay, so he says that.
Yeah. By the way, this is not the man who collapsed in the Oval Office, though you might think that's who it is, but no, it is not. In fact, Donald Trump who collapsed.
No, it's not. It's not Donald Trump. It's and that's. I wanted to make sure I said that at the beginning. A man collapses. It's not Donald Trump. So here is the video of what is happening.
Creating high-value jobs. But today we... Oh, are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press out. Press. We're going. Thank you, press. Press. Right, guys. Cameras. We're done rolling. Cameras.
Okay, Trump gets up to look.
Yeah, he gets up to look, and then he looks forward, and the first thing I see is Aaron Rupar posting this. Incredible photo that's definitely worth at least 1,000 words from Andrew Harnick of Getty. Oh my God. Julie, first thought.
The man speaking, by the way, was the CEO of Eli Lilly, which just apparently announced a deal with Trump that there's a pill version of, I don't know which of these GLP-1
Eli Lilly, I think, is like the
Wegovy or something. I don't know, whatever it is. Like one of them is going to cost as little as $150 a month when it comes on market in the next 6 months or a year, which is great, which is still expensive, but certainly better than $1,500.
Better than it's better than 1,000.
So yeah, I mean, these are really expensive drugs. So
I mean, the FDA, just so everybody knows, the FDA even just approved this drug for sleep apnea. So people who suffer from that can take this, and it helps.
Yeah.
them.
So actually, I have to give Trump credit for cutting this deal. It's important, right?
Yeah, it's
But the guy speaking was David Ricks, who was the CEO of Eli Lilly. He sees the guy collapsing. Apparently, one of the attendees was a guest, not a staffer of the White House. I don't know Gordon who, but it was he's
Gordon,
right? And Rick goes, "Are you okay?" And Roz rushes over to help. Trump stood up and then stood straight, looking at the camera. And I feel like that guy is America.
Well,
and
it's funny,
the rest of it.
it's funny you say that because this is what I just made before we came on. That's why I was running a little late. Hold on. Oh, wait, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's still not doing it. I'll show you in a second. Anyways, keep going.
So, like, this just tells you everything you need to know. I mean, this picture is just, I mean, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, like this picture is worth 1 billion words. This should be a career-ending picture. You've got
in a normal world,
in a normal world, it is, right? You've got, is that Caroline Leavitt, by the way? Like, who is that standing in white, right? Like, you've got all of these people who are standing over this guy who just passed out in the Oval Office, and Trump turns his back on him. He just turns his back on the whole situation. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. At a healthcare press conference, no less, where they're trying to actually make people's lives better by giving them access to these life-saving medicines, which they really are for a lot of people. The ones that, by the way, remember Trump kept calling it like the fat shot or the fat pill or something.
Oh God. I just
And by the way,
don't remember that, but like that makes total sense.
Yeah, he's like, I don't take the fat shot. Translation, he takes them because he's lost a lot of weight. We know there's no other way he would have lost it, because it's not like he would put down the Big Mac or filet of fish, whatever he eats, without, something curbing his appetite. But I mean, look at that.
I know.
Put that picture up again. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, he has turned his back on a man in distress, on an American in distress. He's just standing there pretending it's not happening, because for once, the attention is not on Donald Trump. It's on somebody who they think might be dying. I hope the guy's okay. I hope he just either got overheated, or maybe the stress of being in the Oval Office or standing.
Maybe blood sugar was low as whatever. And also, if you're standing for a really long time and you don't bend your knees, like, you can get wobbly and things like that. But
yeah, I mean, he's a so I hope he's okay. Whoever.
There it goes. Finally.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So
I put America over the little gaggle. Yeah.
So whoever Gordon is, like, I hope he's okay. But the truth is that this picture just says it all. He just says it all. He does not care. If it's not about him, he does not care.
Yeah, he just doesn't care. I mean, somebody, the saying, and I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. I think he feels like that just about
everybody.
All of America, all of the world. I don't think he'd piss on his own children if they were on fire, quite frankly. Yeah. And I also just want to show, because this is another detail here, just this is a character, a measurement of character, really. I'm going to take a look at Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the building. You see him, he's right behind. Hold on. He's right behind the man speaking. Yep. Watch how fast he runs out of this room.
And creating high-value jobs. But today, you okay? Gordon, you okay?
Your Secretary of Health and Human Services, friends.
Yeah. The Secretary of Health and Human Services could not get out of that room fast enough.
At least I got to give Oz credit. I mean, he's a doctor. He actually could help. But at least his first instinct was to go over there and help, right?
First instinct is like whatever that thing is that doctors, it's the code of whatever, the oath that they're
they would oath. And look, the guy from Lilly was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" You'd think that the Secretary of Health and Human Services would stick around to see if the guy's okay. Like I have been in situations, as I'm sure everybody has, where somebody's had a medical event in front of you of some sort, right? Like they throw up, they pass out, like little, I'm not talking about nobody's ever dropped dead in front of me, but I mean like little events. And their first instinct as a human being is just to be like, are you okay? Like if somebody sneezes 5 times next to me, I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like it's just like your kind of your normal thing to do.
It's a human reaction, and it's just an instinct as a fellow human being. I mean, I remember, I mean, there's a couple times in my life. First of all, when I was working at an office for a couple years, in between careers or whatever. Anyways, this guy who sat literally across from me was eating a tortilla chip, and all of a sudden was like, and
you start choking.
started choking. I mean, and it's crazy. Also, just want to say how many people do not know how to do Heimlich maneuver properly. So I learned that day how to do it properly. And I also, like, I was in a bar in Gramercy Park that caught on fire. I was like sitting in the middle of the bar and it just went on fire. And you just realize quickly, like, who is good in these situations and who is not. And those people, present themselves quickly, and that's just, it's just how and the whole thing, Julie, prior to this, again, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., our Secretary of Health and Human Services, saying crazy shit about Tylenol too. Let me just play this.
Have you changed your view on Tylenol for women that are pregnant?
No. As I said.
There were some false reports out about Tylenol that Bobby changed his view. I don't think he's changed.
I'm not going to change until the science changes, and the science does not look like it's changing. It's getting stronger and stronger.
First of all, I
can't.
I feel like he's like put his.
First of all, like this whole Tylenol thing
is bonkers. I'm not going to change it to the.
I'm going to just say this, okay? Like the only people they're hurting are their own people. Because
but again, they don't care.
They don't care. People who subscribe to their bullshit are not gonna take Tylenol when they're pregnant. They're gonna harm their unborn children.
Yeah, with high fevers and whatever else.
High fevers do not, like bad. Right. And it's just like you ask any OBGYN who's there in their right mind, and they'll say, you got to do what like, if you're sick, you have to protect yourself, because if you don't, you will hurt your baby. Like, I have been pregnant. I'm telling you, that is what an OBGYN said to me. Mm-hmm. And if I heard that and I were pregnant right now and I had a really high fever, I was spiking 104 fever or something, I would certainly take a Tylenol.
Yep.
And so I wouldn't listen to this nonsense. But the people who are going to be harmed are their own people who actually believe that what stupid Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says and what Trump says is gospel. And in the same way that Bobby had his own kids vaccinated, all of them.
Yep.
Each one of Bobby Kennedy's kids is vaccinated.
And his daughter pals around with a member of the PayPal mafia, part of the Peter Thiel crew. Like, I'm just saying, like, these worlds that these kinds of people live in, you and I, no clue. They are living in another stratosphere of not only wealth, but social circles, privilege, access, and entitlement. And somebody like Robert F. Kennedy has parachuted into parts of the world, remote places, and talked women and families into not vaccinating their children and single-handedly starting measles outbreaks. And I mean, look what's happening now in the United States. Measles had eradicated, and now it's back. It's bad. It's back in Canada. And again, he just comes up with his own, like, whatever it is, just makes it up, and then, invests. And that's the other part of this that I think is not reported on enough. This is what I'm saying. It's not reported on enough. The level of corruption going on in this administration in every possible corner of our lives, whether it's crypto or the stock market, or favors with foreign adversaries, or it's healthcare, for God's sakes. They tell you that, oh, Tylenol is going to hurt you, or it's going to hurt your baby, whatever. And then they'll sell you some oil that they're supposed to rub on yourself. And, and then you find out RFK Jr. has some sort of investment in it. Not saying there is an oil or whatever, but I know that there is something, and this is a pattern of his behavior, and his family members have even said this. If there's a buck to be made, he'll do it, and he tries to stick it to everybody. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and the guy's a freak. First of all, he's a ex-heroin addict who talks openly about it, bragging. He picks up dead animals on the side of the road and puts them in his car. He had a brain worm die inside of his head. That apparently is just like still there, like hanging out. And not to mention is causing deaths around the world based on his stupidity and entitlement. And he sucks. And his wife sucks too. His wife, and it is, oh, it's not her fault. Yes, it is. She's out. Normally, I'd say, listen, if she's not in the public eye, like whatever, she is. She's out on The View. She's peddling bullshit. She's like, oh, but it is true. And like, shut up. All of these
with his wife. Yeah, you know what it is with his wife? Like, she has a great career that is separate and apart from his. Actually, she's more successful than he's ever been.
She did.
But she did, right? But here's my thing about Cheryl Hines. She was going out there and selling her book. She went on The View, and they asked her about Bobby. And what she should have done is she should have said, hey, I'm here to talk about myself, and I'm here to talk about my book, and I'm here to talk about my career. And if you have questions about any of that, I'm here. I'm here to talk to you. Want to ask about my fake husband, Larry David, on Curb Your Enthusiasm? Happy to talk about that because that's my career, right? If you're here to talk about my husband's views, invite my husband onto your show and ask him. But that's not me, that's him. That would have shut everything down and she could have gone along on her merry way. Instead, she decided to do what so many women have done to their own detriment, which is be the little woman, stand by your man.
Yep.
And she decided to stand by her man. I appreciate that as a wife. I probably would stand by my husband too. However, if you do that, you own your husband's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you have to live with those consequences. And if she doesn't believe in her husband,
yeah, she's peddling the bullshit of the Trump administration, the cruelest, most corrupt administration to ever exist in our 250-year history. I mean, she's all up in it. She's all up in, you know, kissing on him and like the whole thing is so gross. And I find her really gross, and I find the whole thing stupid and infuriating. Like, I'm just so sick and tired. Maybe it's almost Friday here, Julie, and I've had it. And I'm just tired of all these dumbasses running the government. Like, what the hell? Stop.
All right. So as you know, I've had a very difficult week. And so I've really had it. And I'm here to say this. First of all, I want to say something to people watching right now. I'm going to say this without trying to cry. I have had a very difficult week with my mother being diagnosed with something pretty awful. And you guys have been incredible. And I'm really grateful to all of you. And just so you know, doing the morning show and doing all of these other shows and this has really kept me sane because it allows me to focus on something other than my current misery. So I am so deeply grateful to all of you for that. I will also say this about family in the context of Cheryl Hines, because family's been on my mind quite a bit, as you can imagine, this week. You could love your family more than anything in the world, as I do. But you don't have to agree with them on everything. And if your values don't align with their values, it doesn't mean that you have to disown your parents or your husband. I've luckily been the daughter of parents whose values align with mine very much. I've been the wife of a man whose values align with mine very much. But if suddenly my husband decided to throw away everything that he stood for and become a Trumper, I love him. I suppose I would stay with him. That would be very difficult for me because it would just not be the man who I married. But I'm not going to prejudge her for staying with her husband, Cheryl Hines. I will prejudge her for defending him and his views. That to me is a bridge too far. And if my husband suddenly showed up peddling bullshit that was going to cost something, that was going to cost people their lives, then I don't think I could. I mean, I don't know that I would be able to stay with him, but I certainly don't think that I would be able to support him. I'll give you an example. My husband is a trial lawyer. My husband has defended, though not when we were married, because he's very big on defending people who nobody else wants to defend because he believes in the rule of law that way, which I respect. But he's defended priests who were accused of
Oh,
pedophilia.
wow.
I am not on board with that. His attitude is nobody else will defend them and they are entitled to, I think it's just one or two, but he feels like they're entitled to their day in court and they're entitled to a defense. That is his view. You would never, ever, ever see me going. And I respect, by the way, I deeply respect him for that, for having the view that everybody's entitled to a good defense. I don't think I would ever, not I don't think, I am telling you right now, I would never defend that, ever. There's no way. There's no way. He and I just fundamentally disagree on that. Although I agree that everybody's entitled to their own defense, I just don't necessarily think you have to be the one to provide it. He has a different viewpoint. He has a different viewpoint. He's defended people who've been accused of committing murder. Like, he's very much somebody who does pro bono work for people who will not do it for who cannot afford a good lawyer otherwise. Cheryl Hines is basically doing much worse than that because Bobby's not even doing this on principle.
Yeah.
Bobby was doing this to get
on
rich.
a mission, right?
Bobby
He's on a mission.
Yeah.
He's on a mission, and he does not care about you. He does not care about me. He does not care about the poor children in Africa. Like, he doesn't care. And again, born into a level of privilege and wealth that you and I cannot even imagine. I have had glimpses into this world individually. I have peered in, and it's not of this planet. It's not anything I can even relate to. So they're living with a different set of rules, a different set of social mores, a different set of values. And, the Kennedy family, some of them have spoken up, some of them have not. It is a stain on their family's legacy, quite frankly. And, the whole thing is just awful. So watching him, and just, if you're just joining us, if you're just joining us, we wanted to come together and talk about this man collapsing during a press conference with Eli Lilly. They're lowering the cost of this weight loss drug, which is used for many other ailments. And again, if you just look at Robert F. Kennedy standing behind the man, this other man collapses and he runs away.
High-value jobs. But today we... Oh, you okay? Gordon, you okay?
He runs away. And if that is not, I mean, as much as this photograph is a photo worth a million words, so is that clip.
You know what Robert Kennedy is, Michelle? You know what he is? Because by his own account and the accounts of many, 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 many people, he dealt heroin at Harvard.
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy's the kind of guy who, if the cops ever ever raided that dorm room, although he was the dealer in chief, he would run out of that room so fast because he's a Kennedy and run to his parents to protect him.
Yep.
Or maybe not his father because he was dead, but run to his mother, run to his Uncle Ted, run to whoever he'd need to run to. While the poor scholarship kid who happened to be in the room, not even probably buying stuff, but just hanging out,
happened to be there,
got busted. Yep. That is who that guy is. And I hate to say this, but I did have some experience hanging out with some Kennedys of his generation when I was growing up. The whole family's like that. They are the most entitled people on earth who would throw anybody under the bus if it suited their needs. They just don't care. The rules just don't apply to them.
They don't. And the thing about all of this happening is like you have to wonder if the shine, the dazzle of the Kennedy name,
It's over.
right. He put the nail in the coffin, I think, of anybody giving a shit about any of that anymore.
Yeah.
But we look at this, and yes, this is like a meme that I made, but if that is not a symbol of everything, that is the entire world we're living in, on the floor, collapsed, in an emergency, can't breathe, unconscious, need assistance, and Donald Trump is standing over him. Could not care less.
Could not care less.
It's almost like he's annoyed by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's annoyed. He's like, ugh, God, I got to deal with this.
I mean, they all kind of deserve each other. I hate to say this. Like, we
yeah.
all kind of deserve each other.
Mm-hmm. They're miserable.
Yeah.
We don't.
We don't. And I have to say, at a moment, as I said, and I'm trying to be very calm here.
Yeah.
And I said this to Michelle actually yesterday, or I think it was yesterday. The days have been blurry this week. You guys are incredible. This community that we built here is amazing. And I feel like you really have been just, I'm just very deeply grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this community, but more importantly, thank you for just your love and support, and just, we're all, I think, very much ideologically aligned, and not just politically, but I think also kind of morally aligned with each other. So thank you for all of that. There are people here, as I keep saying, from Australia, from Great Britain, from Canada, all over the United States, Scotland, South Africa, Germany.
Apparently a country under communist tyranny.
Yes, according to Donald Trump. It's a country under communist tyranny, which is why they also should not be part of the G. And they should not be part of the G's, as he said.
They would never be part of the G's.
They're not part of the G's. But there are so many good people here. And so I'm so grateful to you, for all of you, for that. Thank you. On that note, thank you. And we will be back as things merit being back for. I have got to go and do, I got to go do a TV show at Bloomberg tonight.
Like in studio? You got to go in studio? I got
to go to the studio. The best part about going to Bloomberg, which I have not been to many years, is I believe they have unlimited M&Ms that anybody could just go get, which I fully intend to do because I've been living on a pure Kit Kat.
No,
for my son's Halloween candy diet. That's not good. So on that note, I'm going to go, and then we'll see Bloomberg.
Yeah, Midtown.
It's on the east side, like 3rd Avenue. I don't even know. They're sending me cards.
Yeah. Okay.
Like on 3rd Avenue somewhere. I think in Midtown.
Like by the lipstick building over there, Madoff, like in that area, probably.
I think so. Yeah, I think by the lipstick building.
Yeah.
So on that note, we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. And
Mallory McMorrow on the show.
Coming on tomorrow, which is amazing. She is brilliant, and we're so excited to bring her to you. For people who don't know, she is running for Senate in Michigan, which is going to be the biggest toss-up Senate race in the country.
Yep.
She is she's just a uniquely talented person. And we're going to ask her a whole bunch of questions about what she thinks Democrats are doing right, wrong, whatever else.
Yep.
And go from there.
And she's been working with Liz Smith for the last couple of years, right?
Liz Smith. Yeah. My friend Jen Holdsworth is doing her, or not her PAC, but a PAC that is in support of her. She's just a shining national star, and a woman who is young. I mean, she's not even 40 years old, I don't think. And she's just
39. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And super talented.
And for anybody who doesn't know who Liz Smith is, she ran the entire communications strategy and really anything strategy of Pete Buttigieg's first launch into the national stage. Really brilliant stuff. I'm a fan. So that's why I think she's doing so well too. I mean, she's just kind of going everywhere, which I think is really smart.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, on that note, thank you to everybody for joining us today. Sorry that I got a little emotional there. I did not mean to, but sometimes.
Not ever apologize for being a human being, Julie.
Yes. And for people who have not seen Michelle Kinney's video that she posted this morning, Michelle, can you maybe play us out with that? Because people may not have watched it this morning if they were not around for the morning show.
Yeah,
But,
sure. I just need a minute to load it in, if you don't mind. Hold on, please. It just takes me a second. Yeah, last night at about 11 o'clock, I was like, I'm just going to throw this. All these clips from today are absolutely batshit crazy. So I'm going to, let me see if I can throw something together. And sometimes the music and the cadence, it just works. And it's one of those things, because just so everybody knows, and it's loading, so I'm just going to, when I was at Lincoln for as long as I was always kind of overseeing everybody and like helping with the creative strategy politically and at Seneca Project too. And so editing really wasn't my strong suit. It's something I've had to out of necessity learn how to do. But it's one of those like muscles, I think, that you don't forget how to use. And it's really kind of a niche thing. It's a hard thing to hire for. The guys at the Daily Show that I've worked with are very, very good at this. There's a few others. And of course, the people I worked with at the last place, I think had to learn on the job too. But yeah, sorry, it's still loading. I'm just sitting here watching it load. So I don't know how long this is going to take, Julie.
Okay, well then maybe we shouldn't play it, but it's
Sorry.
but people could go to our
yeah, you can go to our YouTube, you can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, it's everywhere. And so anytime I switch the branding on our platform here, I have to reload in all of the videos and stuff, so that's why I wasn't there. So
yeah, but go to our website and see it, and that's it.
Yep.
You'll see it. All right, everybody. So great to see you all here. Thank you in the chat for being here, and not bad for numbers for a day.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for being here. Really.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Bye.